So what's being expressed here is this radiance, this luminosity, this inexpressible mystery, the ineffable, the wonder, this open secret. Many words, all the adjectives, the unconditional love, the unconditional freedom, the wow, the wow. But seemingly, what seemingly happens is there is a translator. A translator that tries to make meaning out of something that is meaningless, that doesn't really have a definition. Although these words are being expressed in wow expression, everything seems to be lost in translation. Everything seems to be misinterpreted. The interpreter is speaking a different language, and what's being expressed here is languageless, is wordless, it's silence. But somehow, in this noisy, apparent expression of this undeniable wonder, this, I can just keep on saying wow, it gets. Have you ever watched a film and there was a different subtitle? When you used to kind of like when you pirate movies and it's like a different subtitle that's happening, that's what seemingly is happening. Or there's a silent movie and there's a foreign language that you don't understand. The translator is the you that's not really real. This doesn't require a translation. This doesn't require an understanding, because in its simplicity and directness and immediacy, what's being expressed gets lost in words, gets lost in the language, lost in translation. It becomes a definition. It becomes, I got it. I got it. I got what is being said here. But what's being said here pales in comparison, or does not really justify the simplicity of what's being expressed. Because what's being expressed is in everything. It's inexpressible. It's just this wondrous mystery that when there is no trying to understand it, it somehow appears in everything. Because it was never lost. Nothing is really lost in translation, because it's just this. And this is even saying so much. This is it is too much. This isn't is too much. Because what's being expressed here is just this. I'm trying to mime here. But it's really poor interpretation of what's immediate, of what's really just this extraordinary ordinariness that is ever so present in everything. It is never gone. It is never lost. There's no there's no dictionary for non-duality. It's like, okay, what does it mean when it's being expressed that this is just emptiness? Because every single definition is not it. So the translator tries to understand it, tries to understand the language, tries to conceptualize it, puts it in a story, puts it in a narrative. I know that there's no me. That's not already it. I know that there's no one, because the knowing obscures it. The knowing is the translation. The knowing is the interpretation of what cannot be expressed. It's not a me or not a no me. It's not emptiness or fullness. Even if you say both, it cannot be comprehended. Even when it's said it's the same, it cannot be comprehended. Or when it's said there's no opposites. Because the translation only can translate in opposites. It can only put definitions in meanings. So what's being expressed here is so simple, so direct, so obvious that it cannot be thought about. and it's and it could be frustrating for the translator, but guess what? There's no translator. There's never been a translator. There's no interpreter because there are no languages really. Language is an illusion, the translator is an illusion, the mind is an illusion. What's being expressed here is the clarity that everything is an illusion. So although the words can answer what is this mystery, let's try to explore, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please go ahead and chat. You can also write on the Wowder, Catherine. Thank you. With a smiley face with the sunglasses. You can also write in the chat box if you would like to ask a question there. Cheers. It's good coffee. Oh, Patty. Hi, Patty.
Good morning, Emerson.
Good morning. How are you?
So good to see you.
Oh, so good to see you too.
Oh my gosh, let me see if I get this right. What is being expressed here spontaneous and it just kind of comes out of the blue, but maybe the mind tries to make sense of it, and that the mind trying to make sense of it is the clouding of it? Is that what we're trying
That's
to
the
say
translation
here?
of it. That's the translator that I'm
translation of
talking
it.
about. Yeah, it's already whatever seems to be appearing, the spontaneousness, the clarity, or even the cloudiness is already it. Or even the fog is also it. And what seems to happen is that the mind, the illusory mind or the translator tries to conceptualize it, tries to understand why is it cloudy? When is it going to get clearer? That kind of stuff, that kind of conversation that doesn't really exist.
And there's really no translator. Like,
No,
even the translator is the immediate, spontaneous, unknowableness, I guess.
it's also the translator is also the silence.
The silence,
Yeah, everything is silent. So even the translator is also silence. But it's seemingly, in the illusory, the dream of separation, it's regarded as a separate idea, a separate thought.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
It really is unexplainable and unknowable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes I just want it to be known, and so I can talk to people about it without being put in a psychiatric treatment center.
Yeah.
Because why aren't we all talking about this?
I know. We're not even doing this.
Sense
We're not
in
even
a way of not making sense. It makes sense and it doesn't make sense at the same time, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. It's the okayness and everything, right? But no one's saying okay. It's the kind of like, okay, that seems to be what's happening. Believable, unbelievable. The believable and unbelievable is the translation, is the kind of like, it's the filtering of what's happening. So what's happening is nothing. And then the translation makes it into something that it understands. So the one that understands is the dream, because there's no understanding this. It's all emptiness. It's all this radiant nothing. that appears in everything. So try that. Try to translate that, and
Yeah,
it's impossible, right?
but it's also not um like when I started first listening to this message, I was like, this sounds very scary, very, very scary. And now it's like, this is like amazing. Like, because
Yeah.
it makes sense and it doesn't make sense. And I I can't explain it. And I I wish I could, and I wish everybody got it, because I think we'd be taking less antidepressants, but maybe not. I don't know. Um, that's just a story, but uh, thank you.
Yeah, it's this kind of like I was talking to I don't know if Sabi is earlier, when this apparently the unhappening happened to no one. It's almost like before that you kind of like want to shout at the mountaintops, you know, you want to announce, but when it finally unhappens or unravels, it's kind of like, what's the point? There's no need for that, because there's no one, and there's no one that got anything. Because trying to explain it, saying that I am awakened or whatever, is a translation. It gets lost in the translation. No one is. The simplicity of this is just what seemingly appears as it is, without the narrative. Because no one awakened, no one got awakened because there's no one. That kind of thing, right? And even trying to express that to a friend, it's just impossible. If
Right.
I was listening to this communication maybe about 7 years ago or 8 years ago, oh well, actually when I was listening to it, it was very difficult. It was really scary. I thought it was very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there was this magnetic resonance to it that I just can't stop listening to it. When I started listening to it, and but there was a lot of resistance, because I was trying to translate it. It was not translating well. It was not. It was not being the understanding of something that is just so pure already. The understanding is the impurity in pureness, because this is just pure. It's innocent, this communication, and what's being expressed here is just the immediacy that without opposite. And it can't really be expressed in words. It's the immediacy, it's the silence and everything, it's the stillness and everything, it's the radiance and everything. And then many beautiful words have been said about this. Poems, words.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so there's no choice. I have no
Yes.
choice. There's no I to have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and how this expression shows up in the world is really not up to anybody.
No, no, no.
I hope she doesn't murder somebody as this expression. It would be very fun. But
there's this funny thing about free will and choice, that people assume that when there's no free will, that someone's going to go into a murder rampage or become a
yeah,
serial killer or something. But the character is still going to be the character. There's going to be characters that are murderers. There's not, and I don't think you are, Patty. If you
just don't push your luck. I don't know. Some days I wonder. No, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, such a fun message. Thank you.
Thank you. And bullshit crap, whatever. This is a big hug for you. And the question is, what is the character? The character is this narrative. It's this seemingly persistent that I am real. It's the dream of separation. It's the illusion. It's the one that gets up in the morning that thinks that, you know what, I have to do something. It's the one that conjures up all of this um, narrative of there's got to be something better than this. In short, it's the translator that I'm talking about. It's the one that filters everything that's happening and segregates it into ideas and thoughts and me and I and you and others. So that's what seems to happen is just this filtering, illusory translator, narrator, storyteller. And the story is that I am real and that I am moving through time and space, that I have purpose and meaning, and I need to be happy. I need to be free. So, what seems to be appearing, unfiltered, without translation, is absolute unconditional freedom already. But it can't seem to, when the character filtration happens, it wants this freedom, although it's already free because it's not even it's not even in bondage. So in short, the character is the story, is the dream that's running the show, but there's no show. But it doesn't have any power really. S.A. Hello.
Hi, Emerson. My name is Narayan. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I'll
Oh,
try
no
to put my
worries.
camera on later.
No
Yeah,
worries.
okay.
Hi, Narayan.
All right.
I love that
Hi,
name.
hi.
It's really nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, I think I have a question.
Sure.
I would like to share, yeah, because I'm not sure if I'm asking it to the right person because um, I recently discovered you on YouTube and I see you're expressing yourself more from, oh, there is actually no self, so something is expressing itself from the absolute perspectiveless perspective. Um, and maybe I could start with sharing a couple of
Yeah, sure, sure.
experiences I'm having
Sure.
on a daily basis. So I'm kind of new to the spiritual path. I have like a background more into magic, black magic, and this kind of stuff. And suddenly a lot of things changed a couple of months ago, where I had like I think a sudden awakening or something, where I got relieved of so many traumas and
Mm.
basically a complete identity shift, like
Okay.
completely. Like I cannot look back anymore and see, hey, who is that? You know, it's like some kind of random story from some random person, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So since the last couple of weeks, I experienced what they call samadhi, a certain level of samadhi. I don't know. I'm new to all those. I don't know. So what I can explain to you, the best way how I can explain this is like what I experience in these moments is like a natural, radical inclusiveness of everything that appears and disappears where there is no I. And it happens in meditation. It happens while walking. It happens in nature. A couple times it happened walking in a shopping mall, like a very crowded one.
Mm-hmm.
There is this continuous bliss. There's no preference for good or
Mm.
bad. There is like the speed of development and refinement is like on warp speed. It's going very rapid.
Mm.
But because I'm new to this path, I'm kind of lost where I am.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And the other thing is that there is this state of samadhi when there is nothing, which is so beautiful. And I'm not sure if I feel kind of like I'm chasing this right now. And this is actually at the
Yeah.
moment my biggest issue, problem, challenge,
Mm.
nothing else. Um, and yeah, and this is my daily thing which is going on, and
Yeah.
it's and you know what the thing is also I understand that this frustration and this chasing is also another I thought, and just
Yeah.
chasing that again is like it's like emphasizing this I again. So I try
Yeah.
to be included in just the natural acceptance as just an appearance of the absolute as well, but still it's the intention behind it again is the chase. It's very subtle, but it's a chase again. And because it's a chase, there is no full establishment or integration of this state of samadhi or whatever it is called. So this is my issue and my problem.
Yeah. Well, I think someone said before, I think it was Tony, said that the worst thing that can happen is a glimpse of this. Because it becomes a chase, right? Okay, I have to get back to that one. I have to do that. And it becomes this efforting, you know what I'm saying? There's this effort to maintain that or to catch that again. It's like it's like trying to catch air with a butterfly net now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's like it's like trying to light a fire with smoke.
Like chasing the wind. I will describe it like I'm chasing the wind. I'm trying to grasp it. Yeah.
So what seems to I mean, this is just a suggestion. What seems to happen is just there's this naturalness that was seen without any interpretation of it, without any. And so now what you're trying to do is trying to translate, trying to transcribe what happened with words, you know, like samadhi and all that kind of stuff, right? So those are just ideas as well. You know, there's nothing wrong or right about these words and everything, or you know, or a state. So you think it's a state now, and then you have to go back into that state. But what's being expressed here is that there are no states. That there's really no difference from this and then, because there's no this and then. So this is already free. So what seems to be what's longed for, you know, that emptiness is already this as well. It's just appearing in a different form. It's just appearing as this kind of like I don't have it, but that I don't have it is also it. It's also emptiness. It's also completeness. So there's nothing lacking, but what seems to appear is that there was this in the story there was this complete release, right, without any kind of translation or interpretation of what happened. So since you've made that into a story now, there's nothing wrong or right about that. It became a special story. It's kind of like an earmarked, you know, it's like in the book of nothing, it's like you highlighted it. But what you're highlighting actually is really nothing. So you're trying to compare now what seems to be, you know, looking for, you know, maybe books or whatever. You can never find this in books. You can never find this in words. As you probably, you know, apparently seen is that what is appearing is just this, it appears in everything. It's just walking happening, silence happening, talking happening, but there's no one behind it. The veil is the translation. The veil is the communication that occurs apparently in trying to understand what this is. This is already this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing outside of this. So all that there is this. This is emptiness already.
So what you're saying is basically I should like let go this whole idea I have and
it's not, bro, there's no one really, there's no one there letting go, right?
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
As you've seen, there's really no one, right? There's really I've heard many awakening stories, and it's very consistent. What is consistently is being expressed that there's nothing and there's no one. But somehow when there are teachers that expresses it now, this is how you get here. This is how you but there's no here. Right? It's just this eternal infiniteness that cannot be expressed, right? It's kind of like, oh wow, what is this? What it's just this kind of like wow, it's see, I'm trying to express it again. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have any words to it, right? So the moment that we try to grab it, the moment that we try to understand it, although there's no one doing any of this, the idea of trying to get it is also it. So there's nothing that's not it. Everything is it. There's no time, right? So all at once, simultaneously, what seems to happen, you know, like, you know, you call samadhi or whatever, is also this. There's no difference. There's no not samadhi and samadhi. It's all samadhi. If this is non-duality, there's no opposites. So it's all appearing all at once, but their perception is, the translation is, well, this is not samadhi. I know what samadhi is. That's what I'm trying to say, is that's the illusion. That's the veil of separation. So hooray! Samadhi for everyone, for no one. Since there's no one, it's just all samadhi. I don't even know what that word means anymore, because there was a purging here. I used to be a spiritual teacher and I used to teach about that, but I don't. There was a purging here for some odd reason. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's not levels, it's not states, because if some people would talk about, well, there's 3 levels of this. Well, that's not really non-duality, isn't it? If there's 3 levels, what's that?
But what is the reason then? So there's no any purpose to self-refinement, because if there's no self, there's nothing to refine, right? So
Yeah.
so how does a liberated person evolve? But yeah, okay,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing to evolve, but like
Yeah.
there are still like impressions which are deeper rooted than just like
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a dream of separation, and this is the illusion of reality, right? So in the illusion of reality, if learning happens, it's just what's happening. Right? For example, if I wanted to learn how to edit videos better, I would go to a YouTube and it's not going to say that, that's still just what's happening, but that's also the illusion of time. Right? For example, I made this coffee, it just did not appear all of a sudden, right? There's the illusion of time. There's talking right now, there's a seeming back and forth communication here. But if the veil of separation is collapsed, there's really no one talking to no one. There's really, let's take it further, it's really silence. Not even talking, it's just silence. There's no movement, it's just stillness. But seemingly in this film, you know what I'm saying, of movement and this audio of sound that's kind of like playing along with stillness, what seems to be seen is just this movement. What seems to be heard is the sound. But again, this is not seen or this is not heard.
Got it.
Yeah, it's the radiance and everything.
I got that. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying I got it. I'm just, it's just really what's being expressed here. It's just this. Oh, it's just so, oh wow, this is actually a non-happening happening, and it cannot really be comprehended, and everything is already.
So the apparent refinement of a self is just happening without any reason.
But there's no
or
self,
purpose.
right? So for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no self, but there is still
self.
there is in the from the relative perspective. And the realm of Maya, there's still something there walking around that is being refined somehow, apparently.
Yeah.
But it does not have any meaning from the absolute perspective, because okay.
I had a dream that I was scuba diving, right? I learned how to scuba dive, you know what I'm saying? And I was scuba diving and I was like seeing this. It looks like an Avatar movie, Maybe I saw the trailer of Avatar and I was dreaming of this. But I don't even know how to swim. So I woke up. Awesome. I woke up and I was like, oh, I was swimming, nice. There was seemingly a refinement there of this character. It's like scuba diving is more advanced than swimming, right? So I was swimming with these whales and all of this, it was just fascinating. And at one time, I think I was like, flying up and then diving back into the ocean. That seems like a refinement, right? But it's just a dream. So this is a dream.
The freedom of being boundless.
Yeah, it's so if I look at some piano tutorial, I like playing piano, and that's just what's happening too. There's seemingly a learning that's happening. There seems to be a time that's happening, but it's also not happening. And it's hard to understand that. It cannot be comprehended. That this is really not non-happening.
I love it.
Yeah. So this is
don't
already.
You think it? Yeah. Don't you think it can be also like with what kind of mind or no mind one should approach this non-teaching? Because there is like the mind could perceive it as like and condition itself very subtly in a form of an illusion within the ocean of consciousness, which is then liberation, but not true liberation. So yeah,
So there's a classic
you
translation
got
there
my
of liberation, right? This is unconditionally free, and you're trying to put conditions of this, by, and that's okay. There's nothing. That's how free it is. That it appears as this thought of what you know what I'm saying? It
I got it.
appears as this different
Yeah,
variations of what it is and what it should be or what it could be. All of that is just really kind of like a nothing. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. It
Oh,
feels
thank you.
like your transmission or whatever is happening. It feels like kind of a form of samadhi, to
There's
be
no
honest.
transmission.
Like yeah, or whatever it is, or whatever it is not. It brings this character in this seeing that it's already there. This is it. Thank you, Guru Emerson.
No.
No. Thanks a lot. It was fun.
Thank you.
All right.
And there's no absolute perspective. There's no absolute perspective here because there's no one here that has any perspective. I'm looking just a second. There's a question here from Vidania. It is not happening because there is no substance within the dream. Do you want to clarify that question, Vidania? And there's a question over Paddy that I missed. Sorry.
Yeah, hi, Emerson.
Hi,
yeah,
how are
Vidya.
you? Vidaya.
Yeah, good,
Sorry.
thank you.
That's a beautiful name too.
Thank you. Yes, the other man that was talking, or speaking, so you're talking about the dream. So it was, is it not happening because there is no substance within the dream? Is that what you mean by not happening?
Not happening is just this, before making it into an idea, what seems to be happening is like a dream. Like a dream. Not a dream, but like a dream. Kind of like when you're dreaming at night. Everything that seems to be happening, substance or whatever, the moment that there's awakeness, when the dream ends, there is this seeing that none of that happened. So since there's no, so what's being expressed here is non-duality. There's really no night dreaming or this like dreaming. It's all the same. So no one really went to sleep and no one really woke up this morning. So this is the dream. So in this in this directness and this immediacy, the dream and the night dream are the same, meaning that nothing is happening. Like a dream at night, when you're dreaming at night, there could be kind of like, that dream at night that I was just expressing earlier. I was like scuba diving, and chasing whales and that kind of stuff. The moment that there was awakeness, none of that happened. Like this one, there seems to be talking
There's
right
no
now.
Beginning. No beginning, no end.
No beginning or end.
Finish, no nothing.
That's right. No time, no one. So it's just this radiance of whatever is appearing, but it's really nothing at the same time. This radiant nothing. This whatever seems to appear is really nothing.
The aliveness,
The aliveness, the aliveness. And you can also call it the aliveness and death at the same time. And that's hard to comprehend, I know. How can something alive be dead at the same time? It's unknowable, right? It's we're trying to translate here something that does not appear in a dictionary. Yeah. It's this so what seemed to have happened that never happened really when this character, you know what I'm saying, collapsed or dropped. There was no character in the beginning. No one born and no one that's going to die. But seemingly in the story, everything that it held true, everything that it was untrue, because the character is not true, it's not real. So everything that it perceives, like others, time, reality, knowledge, understanding, everything was lost. So nothing happening. Somehow everything is lost, but everything is empty, empty fullness. Everything is nothing, nothing is everything.
So can that be intuitive? Like something knows that, but it doesn't know it?
There's resonance with this, right? There's resonance with this. When I was trying to understand this, when I was heavily into seeking, I was more into the Advaita, more into the scriptures and Bhagavad Gita, all that kind of books. You know what I'm saying? Scripture, and I really held that into kind of like into my heart, at that time, that those teachings, or the Upanishads or Ramana or there's nothing wrong or right about that, but I was holding on to those teachings, you know what I'm saying, to those knowledge that I thought, hearing this was almost like hearing, when someone's kind of like has a chalk, in a board. It was really painful. It was really, really painful, because what's being expressed here, that nothing exists. Although there's some stuff that it touches, there's dualistic kind of like interpretations of those books. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
Like this feels like it's happening. This feels like there's air, there's sound, there's whatever seems to be happening. There's this full experiencing of what's happening. But what's happening is the unreal real. So there's this real experience that you feel really you're here, but it's also unreal. So there's this lucidity, apparently, here, that there's is both real and real. This is both dream and awakeness at the same time.
Yeah. I know, it doesn't seem really real. There's something that's very empty in it, or light in it, or something where it's not believable.
Not
believable anymore.
In the story as a kid, I've always thought that there's something off about this. There's something off, and I think I was looking for that off, and then when it's seen that the one thing that's off is me, that this belief, everything that I believe was off. So when that off switch, you know what I'm saying? When that off, everything was on. It's like, oh wow, nothing is really happening, but there's this aliveness, right? There's this seeing that everything is just happening for no reason, but it's this gloriousness, nothing. There's no filter anymore. There's nothing off anymore. Everything is complete now. There was this separate idea. That was kind of like that was the main idea, that I am separate. That I need to be whole again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya.
Thank you.
I have a question here. I'll go to you, Victoria, but I forgot a question from Patty. Patty goes, so there is no choice to chase the dream or not? No. Chasing the dream is a dream itself. So the dream will only dream of itself. Everything that happens in a dream is dream stuff. The illusion only functions in illusion. The dream character, the dream, can only dream. It never awakens because there's no dreamer. We can expand on that, Patty, if you like. But Victoria. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to tell you the Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads and Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and in everywhere the same thing is written. Everything is illusion. We are not the body mind. I don't know. I still don't know why we didn't hear it in a Krishna consciousness. Actually, I saw the devotees a couple of days ago. After 30 years, they are still retarded. And I asked, did you chant today and you still retarded? How is it possible?
That's what I meant, because I also had some friends from the Ishkan, you know what I'm saying, and I was amazed by their devotion, and I wanted to be devoted, you know what I'm saying. So I was reading it and reading it, and I'm like, where do I find a devotion? Where do I find? I wanted to live a holy life. That's what I wanted, right? And this one is kind of like yanking everything holy in this, everything that was perceived, you know, that I've wanted to get here or there. I was actually really close. I was thinking about it at one point. I'm like, maybe I should just join the Ishkan, you know what I'm saying, and sing Hare Krishna, you know, like 24/7. Nothing wrong or right about that, but I just saw some of them, and then I started hearing a little bit about the scandals, which is just a story as well.
Actually, it was noticing also. I never wear saris, but I lived a long time in India. So my master, the biggest one, he wanted to be me, his disciple. I didn't want, so doesn't matter. And he forced me to wear saris and everything.
Oh wow!
And actually, I just watching the people, you know, they wrapping themselves in the sheets, you know, and they become the bigger ego, you know, because I'm wrapping in this sheet, so I look like a sand, but they, you know, and everybody know now I am a sand, and I enlightened them. Believe me, buddy, the people don't know what does it mean sense, you know, and you look like a stupid guy, you know, wrapping in the sheet and walking in the winter time with flip-flop something, you know. And
I was in a play once, in a Bhagavad Gita play. I played a turtle, I think. And I screwed up the whole play because but yeah, there was this trying to be devoted, because I was just really looking for the truth. And I
didn't try because it was a devotion.
Yeah,
here, you know, all the time. It was here, and it didn't depend on the alcohol and anything, you know, it was here. I didn't see in other people, you know, this devotion. And I was crying and laughing and drinking because I didn't understand what I'm doing here, you know. Okay.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was looking for the truth in all the wrong places, because the truth does not exist in a place. Truth is another translation of what is. There's no destination of what's being expressed. It's boundless. It's completely free. Doesn't have any conditions. And when the idea of truth is just another idea, it's just another translation. But Patty, did you want to add? Oh, I don't see Patty. Sorry, Patty is disappeared. Hi, Videya, sorry. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, so the difference between it's just happening and the dream, like that terminology, what makes it a dream, what makes it just happening?
it's just happening. It's just a really this is really simple, right? So saying that this is just what's happening is actually probably one of the clearest communication about this. It's just what's happening. But what usually happens, and this is what's just happening, is there's an idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
Then it becomes kind of like, is this a dream? Is this, all of that? So it tries to capture it into an idea. It's like a dream, like an illusion, right? But it's not even captured by that, because there's no one dreaming and there's no one that's having an illusion. Everything that's communicated about this seems to stem from an idea from someone, right? The word dreamer, dreaming, it's like a dream because it can't really be expressed as a definite. There's no definiteness about what's being spoken here. There's no how do you say this? There's no certainty, right? So this is the unknowable. So this is the moment that it becomes certain that yes, this is it, then it becomes unknowing. So what's being expressed here is the it's kind of like what I was saying, is just this unknowable mystery. This unconditional freedom that appears as everything. But no one knows what freedom is, because the moment that freedom becomes an interpretation, it's a conditional freedom. This is what freedom means. It has 3 levels or 4 levels or whatever, right? You're not at that level yet. That kind of thing. There's no one. Yeah, there's no one. No one can capture freedom because freedom is appearing as everything.
Yeah. So everything else is just conceptual.
Everything is conceptual.
It's just what's happening immediately, instantly happening.
Yeah.
Without any idea or concept about it.
Yeah. And it's hard to think about that, because the moment that you think about that, then it becomes another idea. Right? So this is the absence of ideas, the collapse of definitions. Because
then there's that emptiness. Yeah, if there's not thinking about it, it's just immediate.
Yeah. It's kind of like the way really. The way that I describe this sometimes is like, when there's this idea of you are trying to look for something, but when you're not looking, it's already free. Like, when you're not looking, when you're cooking, when you're kind of like when doing something that you love, there's no one there. You're looking for something to disappear, but it's not there.
Yeah.
The one that's looking is absent, so it sees nothing. You can never find it.
And even instantly, if you look, something tries to think about what just happened, it's not there.
Yeah.
And you can't remember even a second, it's like it's not there. It didn't exist.
Yeah. For example,
unless you think about it.
Yeah. For example, when after like a long night of sleep, there's deep sleep, perhaps, you know what I'm saying? This is just a story. And then the moment that you wake up and you say that was a really relaxing sleep, then the narrator or the translator comes back of something that cannot really be translated. That's what is. It's just that emptiness, the deep sleep. For something to appear, there's always nothing. For this awakeness to appear, there's always this peace that can't be understood. There's always this ever-present, infinite happening of an unhappening. I know that is kind of like, ooh, what's that? It's this emptiness that everything appears from, this nothingness that something happens. For something to happen, there's always a nothing. Yeah.
So the sense of the person would have to say, oh, I must have had a really good sleep, because that's what we've been conditioned to believe. But really, the sleep is just a word, isn't it?
It's not even conditioned, because there's no time. It's just this automatic happening of something that translates it. It's like at the same time, there's this kind of like, oh, that's a good sleep. It's just there's no time behind it. There's no precedent. There's no before, right? So there's just this automatic seemingly happening, kind of like of a narration, or kind of like, oh, that was a really good sleep. I wonder what do I have to do. I hope, and then it becomes this kind of like, it becomes this explosion of ideas, kind of like, oh, I hope today is the day that that I finally get this non-duality or something. Meanwhile, it's already, everything is already non-dualistic. Everything's already not separate. There's the illusion that there is this separateness, or there's this getting something, but getting something divides it.
Even to say, I hope I have a good night's sleep, it's just a concept. Because there really is no one that's going to have a good night's sleep. There's just no time or no sleep.
That's it. That's it. There's this illusion of narration. There's the illusion of sound, movement, emotions, sensations, feelings, all of this that seems to appear in a dream-like reality. But there's no reality, and there's no one dreaming. It's just this explosion of seeming thoughts, sensation. It's like every apparent moment is a big bang and an apocalypse at the same time. Bang!
So that thought is just happening.
Yeah.
Speaking's just happening. Yeah. But there's
there's no before.
It's just happening, but there's not really a story, and there's not really a happening.
Yeah. That's why it cannot be understood, because understanding requires time. And everything that happens in time is an illusion. Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. So this.
Oh, you just got muted there.
Anything.
Sorry. I didn't hear you. If you can repeat.
So, the parent speaking now is just, there's no reason for it. There's no happening for it. There's no anything. It's just speaking happening for no one and no reason.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. For no reason. It's kind of like in a dream. Is there any reason for a nighttime dream? No. The moment that there's awakeness, every reason, every meaning, every purpose, scuba diving didn't happen. I still can't swim. If somebody pushes me I can't say that my dream, I was scuba diving, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny because, it's my friends, I'm going to story now. My friends, every time that there's a pool, they try to push me because they know that I can't swim. So I used to hold my phone. And then someone called me, so I handed the phone and someone pushed me to the water. That's just a story. Sorry, I don't know. Just thought I'd share it.
It's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vidya.
Okay.
Keep those questions. They're beautiful questions. Petra. Hi, Petra.
Oops.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just back from a very long train ride, like 16 hours, and
wow.
back and forth, and it seemed like I left me at home. So I wonder if it's the thing about traveling, girls. The mean can't travel so fast. You know what I mean? It was just what's happening. I was in big city of Berlin, and and seeing this so many people, and no thinking, just what happened. But
yeah, it's always like that.
It doesn't feel like it's always like that.
It's always like this. It doesn't feel like that. Is the again, it's just the distortion or the noise,
it's
right?
The way
it's just a translation again. It's just this commentator. It's commenting like, well, it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it felt very light. Sometimes moment of but no, somehow different, like different from the all-time storytelling at home.
yeah, seemingly, yeah.
Seemingly.
Okay, but it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
It's kind of funny when it's like a when I do this stuff on Friday, because there's this kind of like overwhelming kind of like passion to share this. It seems there's no time, but it seems like a long time.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Oh, thanks God it's Friday. And
Maybe
I
I'll
love
keep on
your
doing
short.
this. Maybe I'll keep on doing this twice a Sunday. I mean twice every Friday. Sorry, what were you saying, Petra?
Ooh. I loved your short film.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, beautiful. And
Thank
also
you.
your piano playing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I love making that kind of stuff, right? It's
Yeah, yeah.
just I did one for Tony. I don't know if you saw that one. A long time ago. A long time ago. And I had this old poem that um was incomplete, so I completed it, and then it was just kind of like ramblings, when you can like, oh wow, what is this? And then I made it into a video with a story that doesn't have words, right? It's just this pictures that was happening. It's
Yeah.
kind of like almost kind of like capturing that apparent journey that never happened. That kind of like that's why there's the boat, never really happened, and there's a collapsing of that, of time, and all that kind of like imagery, and there's this kind of like anguish and piano playing.
Wow.
It's all just music and silence. Yeah. Thank you.
See you later.
See you later. Vidya, hi.
Sorry, I've got another question.
No worries.
Um,
There's no you
so
choosing to ask or not.
yeah, it's just really exciting. So yeah, there's that sense of well, it's not really a sense because I don't really know, but the concept of there's someone in another room, or they're all just stories, aren't they? Because it's
Yeah.
really just this. It's immediately this, and this is
Yes.
all there is. And
Yeah.
anything, because we don't know, unless you can walk into another room and it's so convincing, you go, oh yeah, see, I knew that person was in this room. But then that's immediately what's happening. There's not
Yes.
another room, there's not another person, there's
Exactly. Yeah.
just, oh, immediately this.
Yes, it's
Always
always
immediately this.
this. Always, always, always. It's
Yeah.
just this this boom, this pow, this immediacy, right? This directness of what seems to be happening that's not happening. It's just this and then this lens, you know what I'm saying? This lens that doesn't have anyone behind it. It's just this complete seeing all at once.
Yeah.
It's all at onceness, and then there's this narrative of a past or a future, but none of them are real. So this and there's this, it's wondrous, you know what I'm saying? And there's just this wow in it, right? It's just very ordinary that nothing is happening, but seemingly everything is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Nothing
There's
and
nowhere
everything.
it's looking from. There's no
No,
looking from
no, it's not looking
anywhere.
from. It's just everything
Yeah.
is this seeing without a seer, without a scene. It's weird. I can't explain it because it's locationless, right? This is boundlessness. So in this boundless freedom, in this wowness of it, right? Everything appears. Emotions, sensations, taste, ideas, smell, words, and it's just this wowness of it, right? That there's this everything and nothing. Nothing is everything. It's not even becoming. It's not even nothing becoming everything. Nothing is everything. Everything that you see is nothing and everything at the same time. For something to appear, there's always nothing behind it.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
there's no separation.
no separation. Yeah. Because the I, or the idea of I am separate, the moment that the I wakes up in the morning, then it's functioning in a separate illusion. I woke up, I'm going to cook, I'm going to this. So it separates itself from wholeness. When the I is not there, it's just cooking, waking up, smelling the roses, walking, laughing. That's basically it. Because for the I to happen, there is a time. But there's no time. That's what's being suggested. So this is timeless. So timeless is talking. Timeless is listening. Timeless is appearing as time. But since it's timeless, everything that appears in time is an illusion.
So even the timeless can appear as a sense of I or a sense of me.
Yeah, it's appearing as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the emptiness is appearing as
cooking.
Yeah. So the I is also, the timeless is appearing as cooking. But really, when it's seen from this directness, right? There's no one cooking. Yeah. No cooking is happening. It's just nothing happening, appearing as something happening.
Yeah, it's incomprehensible.
It is, yeah.
I can't understand it. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But
no.
But yeah, there's something that, because it's always then immediately, you can't get it wrong then if it's timelessness appearing as whatever. Even a sense of me carrying on and all that. That's just what it is. And I don't know.
Thank you for that question. Thank you. Oh, hey, Kathy.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello. How are you?
Good to see you. Yes, good to see you. How you doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Coffeeed up.
No, I just had one thought, and I know, thanks for taking my question, because I know it's probably past your closing time. And, the only thing I really, really want is deep sleep.
Yeah, so what seems to be happening is that you are interpreting deep sleep into something. You've made it into an idea.
What?
An idea
into
of
what?
An idea of peacefulness, stillness, relaxation, a loss of all the problems and all that kind of stuff.
But it is. But that when I go into deep, when I wake up in dream states, it's like it could be 4 a.m, and that's it. You're up for the rest. Especially as you get older, you wait, like that pain here.
And I know you won't like this.
It's almost bad, like like, oh God, it's time to go to bed.
So
you can't get there. You understand what I mean? You got to get the pills out and the melatonin and the.
Oh, okay.
Not a couple of bottles
I get you now.
You see, in deep sleep.
I get what you're saying now.
I'm not there at all.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
Nobody's there.
So that's what everybody is looking for, is that absence of everything. You know what I'm saying? But what's being suggested, and I know you're not going to like this, that this is already deep sleep. This is already deep sleep. And there's this dream.
There's too much turmoil.
Yeah, and there's a nightmare that there's turmoil in deep sleep.
There's turmoil. If I were in deep sleep right now, if this were deep sleep, see, the me is nowhere near there. I would be, there would be no me at all. There would be, I don't know what there would be.
Yeah. So what's being suggested is that this is already deep sleep, right? And then even that turmoil or that nightmare that you're having, that there's this me, you know what I'm saying, that's very persistent, is also deep sleep appearing as a nightmare, a turmoil, appearing as separation, appearing as whatever, appearing as scuba diving when it can't swim, appearing as talking when it's talking about nothing.
So enlightenment, I'm not going to use that word. Freedom.
Yes.
Boundlessness.
Yes.
Is, and now this is a concept that I'm forming, is Yeah, I'm forming a concept. I was going to make it comparable to deep sleep.
Yeah.
But the only thing that's comparable to deep sleep is the fact that in deep sleep, I'm not there.
Yeah.
The dreams, I'm always in the dream.
Yeah. So what's being suggested, again, this is going to be hard to take, is you're also not here.
Listen, it's not hard to take. I'm telling you.
All right.
It's not. No, I've been listening to this nonstop for 2 years.
Right. That's right. So I didn't forget that, Kathy. Yeah.
Listen to the same GD stuff over and over again.
But you've never heard this before.
What? I never heard it.
Yes.
The first time.
There's this idea that you heard this, but you've never really heard this. Otherwise, you would not be here.
Oh, all right, Emerson. Okay.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you again, if you like or not. You know what I'm saying? At 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think my nephews and nieces are here, and I'm going to play with them. It's Canada Day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Emerson.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks, Emerson. Bye.
Thank you,
Oh,
Emerson.
thank you. Thank you. It was fun. It's fun. There's a breakout room if you guys want to join it. And I'll see you guys in a few hours.